Introduction and design. When luxury refuses to follow trends. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan Series II, 2026, is not a car that tries to impress you. It assumes you are already impressed by everything else. In a world where luxury SUVs are getting louder, sportier, and more aggressive, the Cullinan Series II doubles down on a completely different philosophy: absolute calm, unapologetic presence, and effortless authority. This is not a vehicle designed to chase trends. It exists above them. At first glance, the Cullinan Series II doesn't scream new, and that's exactly the point. Rolls-Royce understands something many manufacturers forget. When you're operating at the very top, evolution matters more than reinvention. The 2026 Cullinan Series II refines what was already considered the pinnacle of ultra-luxury SUVs, rather than trying to rewrite its identity. A more assertive yet calmer exterior. The front fascia is where the changes begin, and they're subtle but intentional. The iconic Pantheon grille now appears more sculpted and upright, flanked by slimmer, more contemporary LED headlamps. The daytime running lights flow downward in a vertical motif, giving the Cullinan a more architectural face. It doesn't look aggressive, it looks commanding. This SUV doesn't need sharp creases or fake vents to look powerful. Its sheer proportions do the talking. From the side, the Cullinan Series II retains its boxy, almost monolithic silhouette, because changing it would be sacrilege. The long wheelbase, short overhangs, and near-flat roofline create a sense of permanence, like a private club on wheels. The coach doors, hinged at the rear, remain one of the most theatrical details in the automotive world. Open them, and the Cullinan doesn't just welcome you, it presents itself, like a private club that assumes you belong there. At the rear, the updates are even more restrained. New LED light signatures and refined surface detailing bring a cleaner, more modern look without disturbing the Cullinan's dignified stance. Presence over performance aesthetics. What's fascinating about the Cullinan Series II is how it completely ignores modern SUV fashion. No oversized spoilers, no exaggerated diffusers, no artificial sportiness. Instead, Rolls-Royce leans into timeless luxury. Every line exists for balance, not drama. Every surface is polished, not sharpened. This is an SUV designed to look relevant 20 years from now, not just at its launch. Even the wheel designs, ranging from elegant multi-spoke alloys to bold monolithic styles, prioritize visual harmony over flashiness. And yes, the self-leveling wheel caps still ensure the Rolls-Royce logo remains perfectly upright at all times, because even the smallest details must obey the brand's philosophy. An SUV that makes a statement without raising its voice. Park the Cullinan Series II next to a Lamborghini Urus, Bentley Bentayga, or Mercedes Maybach GLS, and something interesting happens. Those SUVs try to look fast. The Cullinan looks important. It's the difference between wealth that wants attention and wealth that doesn't need it. The Cullinan Series II doesn't intimidate. It doesn't seduce. It simply exists with authority. And that's what makes its design so powerful. In Part 2, we'll step inside the Cullinan Series II and explore one of the most meticulously crafted interiors ever put into a production vehicle, where silence, materials, and craftsmanship redefine what luxury truly means. Interior and craftsmanship, a sanctuary built for silence. Stepping inside the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Series II, 2026, doesn't feel like entering a car. It feels like leaving the world behind. Everything about this interior is designed around a single obsession: absolute serenity. Not the kind of luxury that overwhelms you with screens and gimmicks, but a deeper, more intentional form of indulgence, where silence, materials, and space are treated as the ultimate status symbols. The moment the coach doors closed, the outside world simply disappears. Silence as a luxury feature. Rolls-Royce doesn't advertise cabin noise figures. They don't need to. The Cullinan Series II is engineered to be eerily quiet. Extensive sound insulation, double-glazed glass, and advanced acoustic materials work together to create an interior where even your own breathing feels louder than the road. At highway speeds, the Cullinan doesn't isolate you from noise. It erases it. This silence is intentional. Rolls-Royce believes that true luxury allows occupants to think, speak, or simply exist without distraction. And in that sense, the Cullinan Series II feels more like a private lounge than a vehicle. Materials that don't just look expensive, they are. Every surface you touch in the Cullinan Series II tells a story of craftsmanship. The leather isn't premium, it's bespoke grade, sourced from carefully selected hides with minimal imperfections. The stitching isn't decorative, it's precise, symmetrical, and executed with near obsessive consistency. The wood veneers are particularly mesmerizing. Each panel is book-matched by hand, ensuring the grain flows seamlessly from door to door, left to right. You can choose from open-pore finishes that feel organic and modern, or high-gloss veneers that reflect light like fine furniture in a luxury penthouse. And then there's the metal. Knurled aluminum controls feel cool and substantial to the touch. Nothing is hollow, nothing feels mass-produced. Every switch moves with deliberate resistance, as if calibrated to remind you that this car was built slowly, carefully, and without compromise. The Starlight Headliner, still unmatched. Even in 2026, the Starlight Headliner remains one of the most iconic interior features in the automotive world. Thousands of hand-installed fiber optic lights are embedded into the ceiling, recreating a night sky that can be customized to specific constellations or even a meaningful date. Is it excessive? Absolutely. Is it unforgettable? Without question. What's remarkable is how subtle it feels once you're inside. It doesn't shout for attention, it simply glows, adding warmth and atmosphere rather than visual noise. Technology that knows its place. Unlike many modern luxury vehicles, the Cullinan Series II does not let technology dominate the interior. Yes, the infotainment system has been updated, faster, sharper, more intuitive, but it remains elegantly integrated into the dashboard. No oversized floating screens, no unnecessary animations. Rolls-Royce understands that screens age faster than craftsmanship. That's why physical controls still play a major role, and why the overall design will still feel relevant a decade from now. Even the digital elements are restrained, prioritizing clarity over spectacle. Rear seat experience, the true Cullinan sweet spot. While the front seats are undeniably comfortable, the Cullinan Series II truly shines in the rear. In the four-seat configuration, the rear cabin becomes a first-class experience, complete with individual lounge chairs, a fixed center console, and optional champagne coolers with Rolls-Royce branded crystal flutes. Rear passengers enjoyed generous legroom, exceptional headroom, and an almost unnatural sense of calm. It's the kind of space where time slows down. This isn't an SUV meant to be driven hard. It's an SUV meant to be arrived in. And in Part 3, we'll explore how the Cullinan Series II manages to deliver this level of comfort while still being powered by one of the most effortless V12 engines ever made, and how it actually drives on real roads. Engine, ride, and driving experience. Power that never needs to prove itself. On paper, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Series II 2026 looks impressive. In reality, it feels almost unreal. Under the hood sits Rolls-Royce's legendary 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12, an engine that exists in defiance of modern automotive trends. While the world rushes toward downsized turbo engines and electrification, Rolls-Royce calmly continues perfecting one of the smoothest power plants ever created. This V12 isn't about excitement, it's about effortlessness. The V12 philosophy: effort over emotion. Rolls-Royce rarely talks about horsepower figures, and that's intentional. What matters here isn't how fast the Cullinan is, it's how little effort it uses to move. Acceleration is smooth, linear, and eerily quiet. There's no dramatic surge, no aggressive exhaust note, no sense of strain. Press the throttle, and the Cullinan simply gathers speed, like a private jet beginning its takeoff roll. You don't feel torque spikes, you don't hear the engine working, you just arrive at speed. At highway velocities, the V12 is barely awake, operating in a relaxed state that prioritizes silence and smoothness over theatrics. This is power designed for people who no longer need to be impressed by it. Magic carpet ride, more than marketing. Rolls-Royce often uses the term magic carpet ride, and in the Cullinan Series II, it feels more accurate than ever. The suspension system actively reads the road surface ahead using cameras, adjusting damping in real time before imperfections even reach the wheels. Combined with air suspension and advanced chassis tuning, the result is a ride quality that borders on surreal. Potholes feel distant, expansion joints barely register, rough roads become irrelevant. Even at speed, the Cullinan remains composed, stable, and unbothered. There's a sense that the vehicle is floating just above the road rather than rolling on it. Surprisingly capable, without losing its soul. Despite its luxury-first mission, the Cullinan Series II is still an all-wheel drive SUV with genuine off-road capability. Rolls-Royce's Everywhere mode simplifies what would normally be complex terrain settings into a single command. Snow, sand, gravel, or uneven trails, the Cullinan adapts automatically without asking the driver to think. But here's the key difference. The Cullinan never feels like it's pretending to be rugged. It doesn't encourage aggressive driving or adventurous behavior. Instead, it reassures you that no matter where you go, you'll remain comfortable. This isn't an SUV for conquering nature. It's an SUV that civilizes it. Steering, handling, and the illusion of size. Make no mistake, the Cullinan is enormous, and yet, behind the wheel, it never feels intimidating. The steering is light, precise, and deliberately relaxed. Rolls-Royce doesn't want you to feel connected to the road, they want you to feel insulated from it. Still, body control is remarkably well managed, especially considering the vehicle's size and weight. You won't attack corners in a Cullinan, but you also won't feel nervous or disconnected. It's confidence without engagement, and that's exactly the point. A driving experience designed to lower your heart rate. Everything about driving the Cullinan Series II feels engineered to reduce stress. No harsh responses, no sudden movements, no sensory overload. The pedals respond smoothly, the transmission shifts invisibly, and the cabin remains calm regardless of speed or surface. It's a vehicle that subtly encourages patience, composure, and restraint. In a world obsessed with performance numbers and aggressive driving dynamics, the Cullinan Series II offers something radical: peace. And in Part 4, we'll talk about technology, customization, and how Rolls-Royce allows owners to turn the Cullinan into a deeply personal expression of luxury, far beyond what most premium brands even attempt. Technology, bespoke, and ownership. Luxury that adapts to you. In most modern luxury vehicles, technology is designed to impress. In the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Series II 2026, technology is designed to disappear. Rolls-Royce doesn't believe luxury should demand your attention. Instead, it should quietly serve you, anticipating needs, smoothing experiences, and never reminding you that it's there. technology that knows when to stay silent. In the updated digital interface in the Cullinan Series II is faster, sharper, and more refined than before, but it never dominates the cabin. The infotainment screen blends seamlessly into the dashboard, maintaining visual balance rather than stealing focus. Menus are clean, minimal, and intuitive. No clutter, no gimmicks, no over-designed animations. Voice controls work efficiently, but Rolls-Royce assumes you may prefer not to speak to your car at all. Physical controls remain because sometimes the most luxurious thing is simply turning a knob. Driver assistance systems, adaptive cruise control, lane support, night vision, and advanced safety tech operate quietly in the background. They don't nag, beep excessively, or intrude into the driving experience. In a Cullinan, technology supports calm. It never interrupts it. Bespoke, where the Cullinan becomes truly yours. This is where Rolls-Royce leaves every other luxury brand behind. The Cullinan Series II is not configured, it is commissioned. Through Rolls-Royce's Bespoke program, owners can personalize nearly every aspect of their vehicle. Exterior colors can be matched to personal items, favorite locations, or even memories. Interior leathers can be customized in rare hues unavailable anywhere else in the automotive world. Stitching colors, embroidery, unique veneers, custom tread plates, personal monograms. Nothing is off limits. Some owners commission interiors inspired by private yachts, penthouse apartments, or art collections. Others opt for extreme minimalism. The Cullinan adapts because it was never meant to reflect Rolls-Royce's taste, it was meant to reflect yours. The gallery, art on the dashboard. One of the most distinctive features of the Cullinan Series II is the gallery, a glass-enclosed space across the dashboard designed to display commissioned artwork. This isn't a screen, it's not decorative trim, it's actual art. Owners can collaborate with artists to create one-of-a-kind installations, turning the dashboard into a personal exhibition. No other SUV or car offers anything remotely similar. It's a reminder that the Cullinan isn't just transportation, it's a moving statement of identity. Ownership experience, a different world. Owning a Cullinan Series II isn't like owning a typical luxury SUV. Rolls-Royce ownership is closer to a concierge relationship. Service appointments are discreet, often handled without the owner ever visiting a dealership. Vehicles are collected, serviced, and returned seamlessly. You're not treated like a customer, you're treated like a patron. Even software updates and maintenance are handled with minimal disruption. Rolls-Royce understands that inconvenience is the opposite of luxury. Luxury without obsolescence. Perhaps the most impressive thing about the Cullinan Series II is how it resists aging. Because Rolls-Royce avoids trend-driven design and over-reliance on flashy tech, the Cullinan will feel just as relevant years from now. This is a vehicle built with longevity in mind, both physically and aesthetically. It's not designed to be replaced, it's designed to be kept. Final verdict. Why the Cullinan Series II shouldn't exist, but does. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan Series II 2026 is a vehicle that, by modern logic, shouldn't exist. It's powered by a massive V12 in an era obsessed with electrification. It prioritizes silence over speed in a world chasing performance numbers. And it offers craftsmanship and patience at a time when most cars are designed for instant gratification. Yet, somehow, it feels more relevant than ever. Who is the Cullinan Series II really for? This isn't an SUV for enthusiasts. It's not for people who care about lap times, aggressive styling, or cutting-edge tech displays. The Cullinan Series II is for those who value presence over performance, calm over chaos, and timelessness over trends. It's for individuals who have reached a point where speed no longer excites them, but effortlessness still matters. This is a vehicle designed for arrival, not acceleration, for composure, not competition. Cullinan versus its rivals, a class of one. Compared to rivals like the Bentley Bentayga, Mercedes Maybach GLS, or Lamborghini Urus, the Cullinan Series II operates on a completely different plane. Those SUVs try to balance luxury with sportiness. The Cullinan refuses to play that game. It doesn't try to feel agile. It doesn't try to sound exciting. It doesn't try to impress you. And that's exactly why it does. While others chase versatility, the Cullinan commits fully to its purpose, to be the most serene and commanding SUV on the road. Is it worth the price? On paper, the Cullinan Series II is extraordinarily expensive, and once you step into the world of bespoke customization, the price can rise far beyond reason. But value here isn't measured in features or performance. It's measured in how quiet the cabin feels at 80 miles per hour, how little effort it takes to cross continents, and how timeless it will look a decade from now. For its buyers, the Cullinan isn't a purchase, it's a commission. A final thought: the end of an era? There's a quiet sense that the Cullinan Series II represents something rare, perhaps even something endangered. A world where V12 engines exist not for speed, but for smoothness, where luxury means less stimulation, not more, where craftsmanship matters more than software updates. If this truly is one of the final expressions of old-world automotive luxury, then the Cullinan Series II doesn't just deserve appreciation, it deserves respect. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan Series II isn't the best luxury SUV because it does everything. It's the best because it refuses to do anything unnecessary. And that's what makes it unforgettable.